The power of stepping back. There is a turning point in life when you finally understand that your value is not measured by how much you chase people, how loudly you beg for attention, or how desperately you try to explain your intentions. It is measured by how gracefully you walk away from anything that disturbs your peace. Stepping back is not defeat. It is not weakness. It is an act of strength, confidence, and deep self-respect. It shows that you know your worth even when others don't. Most people fall into the trap of chasing what they think they need. They run after people who don't value them, seek validation from those who don't understand them, and waste energy trying to prove themselves to people who already decided not to see their worth. It is a painful cycle. You give more than you should, tolerate more than you deserve, and lose more of yourself than you realize. But eventually, something in your spirit wakes up. You start to feel drained, empty, exhausted, and then it becomes clear, chasing is not love, and begging is not respect. Stepping back is the moment you choose yourself. It is the moment you say, I am done losing myself to keep people who don't appreciate me. When you step back, you take your power with you. You stop giving others the ability to control your emotions. You stop letting their behavior dictate your self-worth. You stop sacrificing your dignity to keep a relationship alive. Your silence becomes your shield, your strength, and your statement. When you stop chasing, you give people the chance to show you their true colors. If someone truly values you, your distance will wake them up. They will come forward, make effort, and correct their behavior. But if they don't value you, they will let you go without hesitation. And that truth, although painful, is a blessing. It saves you from wasting years of your life on someone who was never meant to stay. Silence sends a message that words never could. When you stop calling, texting, arguing, or explaining, your absence becomes a powerful mirror. It reflects back to people what they have done. It forces them to feel the weight of your silence, something they took for granted when you were always available. Silence is where they finally notice how much you brought into their life. Your care, your effort, your loyalty, your presence. Stepping back also gives you space to heal and realign. When you're no longer chasing someone else, you can finally chase your own growth. Your clarity returns, your energy returns, your self-worth rises. You begin to understand that you are not meant to convince anyone of your value. You are meant to carry your value with quiet confidence. Most importantly, stepping back reminds you that you deserve relationships that are mutual, balanced, and respectful. You deserve love that doesn't require begging, attention that doesn't require chasing, and understanding that doesn't require endless explanations. Your silence is not emptiness, it is your power. And the moment you embrace it, you begin to transform your entire life. Silence speaks louder than words. Silence is one of the most underestimated forms of communication, yet it is often the most powerful. When you choose silence over reacting, over arguing, or over explaining, you shift the entire dynamic of a situation. Silence forces people to sit with their own actions. It removes your energy from the chaos and places the responsibility back onto those who created it. This is why silence is not weakness. It is mastery. Many people talk too much, defend themselves too much, and react too much. They try to correct every misunderstanding. They try to win every argument. They try to fix every relationship by explaining their heart until their voice runs dry. But here is the truth. The people who truly care about you don't need constant explanations, and the people who don't care will never understand, no matter how much you explain. When you grasp this, you stop wasting your breath. Silence is clarity. Instead of trying to force someone to see your worth, you let your absence reveal it. Instead of trying to argue your perspective, you let your distance speak the truth. Instead of pouring emotions into someone who isn't listening, you give them the message they never expected: your silence. Silence is a language that communicates strength, dignity, and boundaries. When you go quiet, you shift the power. The person who once felt in control suddenly feels the insecurity of your distance. They feel the weight of your withdrawal. They wonder why you stop talking, why you stop trying, why you no longer react. Silence makes people uncomfortable because it forces them to think, reflect, and question themselves. Your silence becomes the mirror they cannot escape. Silence also protects your peace. There are arguments that drain you and conversations that go nowhere. There are people who twist your words, manipulate your intentions, or invalidate your feelings. Instead of engaging in pointless battles, silence allows you to step out of the toxic cycle. It stops you from saying things you'll regret and prevents you from giving your power to someone who doesn't deserve it. Not everything requires a response. Not everything deserves your voice. Silence reveals true intentions. When you stop speaking, you see who reaches out. When you stop explaining, you see who cares enough to ask. When you stop giving, you see who valued your presence and who only valued the benefits you brought. Silence exposes the relationships built on genuine connection and exposes the ones built on convenience. Your silence also gives you time to think before reacting. In silence, you see situations more clearly. You see people more honestly. You understand what serves your growth and what drains your spirit. Silence helps you make decisions from strength, not emotion. Finally, silence teaches others how to treat you. When people realize that disrespect results in distance, they think twice before crossing a line. When they see that you do not tolerate manipulation, they adjust their behavior or leave your life entirely. Either outcome benefits you. Your silence builds boundaries that words often fail to create. Choosing silence does not mean you are weak. It means you are focused. It means you are in control. It means you refuse to waste your energy on those who do not value it. Your silence is your statement, your protection, and your power. It communicates what your words no longer need to say. Silence makes you powerful. Silence becomes a force the moment you stop using your words to convince people and start using your presence to communicate your worth. When you step back, when you stop explaining and defending yourself, something powerful happens. People finally get the chance to see who you truly are without the noise. Silence is not emptiness. It is clarity. It is strength. It is confidence without performance. And most importantly, silence is undeniable. People can argue with your words, but they cannot argue with your absence, with your refusal to engage in their negativity, or with the calmness you hold when they expected you to break. When you choose silence, you are making a bold statement. I value my peace more than your opinion. Most people spend their lives reacting to comments, reacting to insults, reacting to disrespect. They explain themselves constantly, hoping to be understood by people who don't even want to understand them. That is weakness disguised as effort. Silence, however, is a boundary. It tells the world, you don't get to control my emotions. You don't get to drain my energy. You don't get to pull me into your chaos. Silence gives you back your power by refusing to surrender it to anyone else. Silence also reveals who is truly with you. When you pull back, those who care will reach out. Those who don't will disappear. Either way, you win, because silence cuts through illusions. It exposes people's intentions. When you stop chasing, you see who naturally chooses you. When you stop explaining, you see who respects you enough to understand without being told. Silence clarifies relationships faster than any conversation ever could. And here is the truth. People notice silence far more than they notice words. When you walk away without a speech, they think about it. When you stop responding, they feel it. When you stop chasing, they reevaluate your worth. Your silence echoes in places your words could never reach. It forces reflection. It forces accountability. It forces others to confront the reality of how they treated you. Silence becomes the mirror that people are afraid to look into. But silence is not just for others. It transforms you. It teaches you emotional discipline. It helps you rise above impulsive reactions. It trains you to think before you move. It allows you to protect your energy, observe situations clearly, and make decisions from strength rather than insecurity. Silence is where you reconnect with yourself, where you grow, where you heal, where you plan your next move. Silence is not weakness, it is strategy, it is wisdom, it is growth. When you master silence, you master your emotions, your relationships, and your future. You stop giving people free access to your mind and start prioritizing your inner peace. And in that peace, your true power awakens. Silence makes you untouchable. Silence makes you stronger. Silence makes you unforgettable. Let your silence transform your life. Silence is more than just the absence of words. It is a tool, a shield, and a source of immense power when used intentionally. When you stop chasing, stop begging, and stop explaining, you create a space in which your life can finally align with your true purpose. You allow the universe, or life itself, to respond to your energy rather than your words. This is the essence of maturity and personal strength, understanding that actions, presence, and boundaries speak louder than endless explanations ever could. By embracing silence, you stop giving energy to situations, people, or relationships that do not serve your growth. You stop forcing connections, forcing understanding, and forcing recognition. This does not mean you are apathetic or passive. It means you are strategic. You understand that true power comes from choosing your energy wisely. When you withdraw from chaos, you reclaim clarity. When you remove yourself from those who fail to value you, you regain focus. When you stop over-explaining, you protect your dignity. Each act of silence becomes a declaration. Your life, your peace, and your worth are non-negotiable. Silence also allows life to work in your favor in ways words cannot. Opportunities, relationships, and situations start to reveal themselves naturally. People who truly care about you will notice your absence and will step up, demonstrating their sincerity through action rather than words. Those who were never meant to be in your life will fade, showing you their true priorities. This natural filtering process is one of the most powerful benefits of silence. It allows you to surround yourself only with people, experiences, and opportunities that are aligned with your growth and your goals. Another way silence transforms your life is by strengthening your inner world. When you are no longer preoccupied with proving your worth to others, you turn inward. You invest time, energy, and attention into your own growth, your health, your skills, and your dreams. You develop emotional resilience because you are no longer controlled by external opinions or reactions. You begin to listen to your intuition, trust your judgment, and make decisions from a place of power rather than fear. This inner alignment reflects outwardly, attracting people and situations that resonate with your elevated energy. Silence also teaches patience. In a world that values instant gratification, you learn to wait. You wait for respect, for understanding, for recognition, not by demanding it, but by allowing it to come naturally to those who deserve it. You become less reactive and more intentional. You understand that timing matters, that energy flows in cycles, and that what is meant for you will find its way to you without being forced. This patience becomes a form of strength that most people never develop. Most importantly, silence becomes your signature. It is how you communicate without words. It is how you hold your dignity and boundaries. It is how you teach others to value your presence without pleading for attention. In silence, you discover the power of self-respect. In silence, you cultivate peace. In silence, you demonstrate that your life, your energy, and your worth are yours to protect. Let your silence do the talking. Let it shape your life. Let it teach lessons that words never could. In your quiet strength, watch how life shifts. Opportunities appear. True relationships flourish. Boundaries are respected. And you finally step fully into the version of yourself that is powerful, confident, and untouchable. Silence is not the absence of life. It is the presence of your highest power.